Okay, I'm going to try to squeeze in one more quick video today. So I just had a question on my Facebook page, which if you're not on there, it's Conjured Cardia. You can look it up on Facebook. I personally think it's a really fun page. I post lots of photos and really interesting articles, and I try to keep it really fun and educational for everybody. I put a lot of work into it. So if you're interested in learning more about New Orleans voodoo, hoodoo, conjure, other folk magic traditions. I post tons of information on there, so stop by and like the page, and it'll keep you up to date on everything that I'm doing. So I'm going to go over a few roots here, a few basic roots, and I'll do another video later on of some things that maybe are more obscure. But for right now, these are things, and I sell all of these on my site. So the first one we're going to go over is High John root. So this is one of my personal ones here. This is a female. The males are long and skinny like this, and the females are round and larger than the males. So the High John root is supposedly contains the spirit of High John the Conqueror, which a lot of times now, if you look up High John the Conqueror, you will see a like white king with like a big crown on his head and like a straight beard, and he's very evidently Caucasian. That is a completely, that is so far off, I can't even tell you. Please don't buy those products, because that's not at all, it has nothing to do with High John the Conqueror at all. First of all, there's no High John the Conqueror root in those products, I can guarantee you 100%. And just the fact that they're putting a Caucasian man on the label tells me that the people selling it or making it have no clue what they're talking about. So again, that whole being void of tradition and culture thing is it stops our traditions from being carried on because the information is incorrect. So High John the Conqueror was an African prince who was stolen and sold into slavery. His spirit was supposedly unbreakable. He was supposedly very, very bright and very wise, and he was constantly outsmarting and tricking his masters. And that is eventually how he ended up getting away and gaining his freedom. So you can find more information on this story on my blog, conjuredcardia.blogspot.com, to give you the full story of it. So this African prince's spirit is believed to be inside this root. And you can use this root for any purpose at all. It can increase luck, attraction, prosperity, protection. It is an all-purpose root, and it has a ton of power. It comes from a plant that is related to morning glories. It typically grows in the south. We don't grow it up here where I am now. Yeah, it has a very distinct smell. If you are, you know, you're getting fresh ones, they smell, if you know what liquid smoke is that you use in cooking, to me that's exactly what it smells like. So it should have this really sharp smoky smell, and that's how you know you're getting a good one. Like I said, I offer those on my site. If you are interested in picking one up, you can add them to your mojo. You can put them on your altar. I even like to make, I make my own High John cologne, which I also sell on my site, which is my own blend. And then I have a High John root in there, and that's really nice for washing down the altar or wiping down the thresholds of your home or your floors, your windows, etc. So the next one is a Low John or a Dixie John. I dug this sucker up last year and dried it out. So this is the root of a trillium plant, which we have grows natively here all over Michigan. It's actually in bloom right now. You can see big white fields of it on the sides of the road up north. I was actually up north about 2.5 hours from here a few days ago, and it's everywhere. So it's also called Beth root or birth root, and this was used by Native Americans in fertility and birthing processes. So you can use it medicinally, as well as using it in its spiritual form, as the root itself sort of harnessing this power. So the Trillium Route, or Low John or Dixie John, is almost specifically used in matters of love, attracting a partner, fertility, childbirth, family, healing. That is its energy. And once you start working with these roots, you'll sort of get a feel for them. You'll be able to pick one up and sort of tell what it's for. I've been able to do that for a long time, but I've always been very, very heavily involved with botanicals and roots. So it's something that you just sort of get a feel for. You just it's just sort of an inherent instinctual thing that you'll develop. So our third John, so we have our High John, we have our Dixie John, and then we have our Little John. So this is galangal root or Little John. It's also called chewing John because there are several little quick workings you can do where they sell this in big slices. It's related to ginger root. It is not ginger root though, just to clarify that. That you chew and then you would spit in certain places for a desired effect. The most typical use of this tradition is for court. This is also called court case root or danda root. So, and again, I offer these on my site. These work amazing if you have legal problems. It also works for unhexing and protection as well. But they are mostly used, hence the name court case root, because they're really great for legal issues. So, yeah. So that's part of that. And this is a very large one. I'm showing you very large examples right now, so they sort of show up here. The ones that you get, are typically going to be about like this and fit easily in your mojo bag or in your pocket, so you can use them. Again, you can use it on your altar, involve it in your workings to help sort of direct and channel energy, with you in your work or between you and a client or, whatever you happen to be working on. So, okay, I'm going to touch on one more really quickly. This is a master root. It is related to the angelica plant. I also have these on my site. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. So, master root, the reason it has that name is because it supposedly will master any of life's circumstances, any life's difficulties. So this is another really great all-purpose one. And I sell these nice large ones. You could easily chop this sucker up and get like 100 uses out of it. Or you can, take off the one root at a time and use it that way, maybe involve it in some sort of, sealing or wrapping or binding work or knot magic or something like that. Lots of stuff you could do with it. They're very large roots. So, yeah, so this is I would say particularly if you had a very stubborn situation or something that you had been working on for a long time, or maybe it's just a really big, difficult situation, master roots can be extremely helpful for those. They're also really great for healing. So if you have a chronic health problem, or just something that's been going on for a long time, or maybe it just hit but it's really severe, that would be another great thing to use master roots for. I personally abstain from dressing my roots with oil. If I dress my roots with anything, it's the colognes that I make specifically for them. I don't like how the oil gums up my roots after a while. These, like my High John roots, I mean, my big ones I've had for probably close to 15 years. I don't, oil tends to make dust and dirt stick to them. I'm personally not a fan of that. What I will do is add a root to a mojo bag, and then I will, how I dress my mojo bags are, I put the oil on the insides of my hands out of the bottle. I rub my hands together. I sort of raise energy that way, get my focus, and then bring it to my bag and hold my bag. So that's how I dress my bag. I think a lot of people make the mistakes that you're like dumping the oil inside of the bag. And I don't recommend you do that because you're just sort of drowning everything in there, and your bag's going to get really gross after a while. So all you need is this light layer, this light barrier of anointing, okay? Anointing doesn't have to be some like you're dumping a bucket of water on your head. It's a light daily touch that enforces the power and the focus that you're giving to this object. It's not like, oh, let me dump the whole bottle in there because it's going to be, then I won't have to do anything with it for a month because I've anointed it so well. That's not the purpose at all. Less is more, consistency is best. To do a small step consistently every day is the way to go with spiritual work. This, like, you know, hurry up and like do a big working, or like dump a bunch of oil on stuff, or buy the biggest candle I have and burn it. That's not creating daily ritual, daily habit, daily influence, daily reinforcement of your spiritual practice in your life. So try to abstain from you know, overdoing it and thinking that the most and the biggest is the best. A little bit of daily practice will get you the most results by far. So I hope this helped you out with the roots, sort of clarified some things. Maybe you can identify them yourself. Like I said, there'll be a link on this video to my site. So if you want to purchase any of these roots for your own use, feel free. I have them there for you. So thanks again for watching. And if you have any ideas or comments, please leave them below for me, and I'll try to get to them in my next video. All right, bye.